This could be the most crucial video that I've ever released on this channel, honestly. It was an ordinary evening in our therapy group, the kind where stories unfold like chapters in a well-worn book. This time, we had a fresh face, a newcomer, eager to dive into the depths of self-discovery. For the sake of this story, let's call him Edward. Edward sat with anticipation, his energy vibrating with the hunger for healing. When Edward's turn came, he let it all spill out. The wounds, the struggles, the unanswered questions that had actually led him here in the first place. The room listened in silence, nodding, absorbing, holding space as it did so well. As Edward finished, I gave a simple nod of gratitude and prepared to move on. But Edward, his brow furrowed in confusion, leaned forward. "Wait," he said. "I thought this group was supposed to help me. I was expecting advice, some guidance on what to do next." I had already explained before we began, just as I always did, that our group followed a sacred principle. No crosstalk, no unsolicited advice, no one playing therapist, just listening, just witnessing. Still, I could see that Edward wasn't sold. He wanted answers. He wanted solutions, something to grip onto in the storm of his struggles. So I turned to the group, scanning all the faces of the 12 individuals who had been walking this road together. "Okay," I said, "let's test something. Show of hands," I said. "How many of you at this very moment are absolutely itching to analyze, to fix, or advise Edward? How many of you would love nothing more than to swoop in and solve all of Edward's problems?" Instantly, every single hand shot up. Edward blinked. The realization hit him like a slow-moving train. "This," I told him, "is why we don't allow crosstalk. Not because no one cares, but because everyone would rather fix someone else's problems than face their own." The room settled into a knowing hush because in that moment, we all saw it. How easy it is to let our own struggles sit untouched while we become experts in everyone else's lives. How some people, whether out of love or dysfunction, will rush in with advice that is more about their own need for control than about true support. Edward nodded. Something shifted in him. And with that, we moved forward. Because real healing doesn't come from people telling you what to do. It comes from learning to listen to yourself. And that, my friends, is why you must be mindful of who you let speak into your life. Not everyone handling out advice is doing it for you. Some are just running from themselves. Now let's talk about the fixers versus the supporters. The fixers, they usually mean well, almost always mean well, but their help often disempowers you. Instead of walking alongside you, they try to solve everything for you, as if you're incapable of figuring it out for yourself. Their presence can feel like a safety net at first, but over time, it becomes a trap that keeps you from trusting your own instincts. Contrast that with the supporters. They don't rush to rescue you. They believe in your ability to find your way. They offer encouragement, not control. They remind you, you've got this, instead of, let me do it for you. Ask yourself this: are the people around you helping you grow? Or are they keeping you from learning how to stand on your own? Now let's talk about the analyzers versus the reflectors. The analyzers, they have a way of making everything feel like an equation that must be solved before you can take another step. They overthink, overquestion, overcomplicate your process. Instead of inspiring action, they bury you in doubt. But then there are the reflectors, the people who help you see yourself more clearly. They don't cloud your mind with excess logic, skepticism. They listen, they validate, and they reflect back the truths that you already know. Ask yourself this: do the people that you confide in make you feel seen? Or do they make you second guess yourself? Now let's talk about the advisors versus the space holders. The advisors love to tell you what to do, even when you never asked. Their words often come from experience, but they assume their path should be your path. And over time, their voices drown out your own. On the other hand, the space holders understand that your journey belongs to you. They don't rush in with instructions. They simply hold space, offering presence, offering patience, and quiet support as you figure things out. Ask yourself this: are the people around you forcing their will onto your creativity? Or are they giving you the space to discover your own way? Now let's talk about the creator's call, protecting your process. Every creator has a choice. Who do you allow into your creative space? Unhealthy people, they want to control, they want to overthink, or they want to impose their will. Healthy people empower, they reflect, they create space for you to grow. You don't have to cut everybody out, but you do need to be discerning. You see, not everyone deserves access to your creative process. Some voices need to be turned down, and some doors need to be closed. Your creativity is a sacred thing. Guard it, protect it, and share it only with those who respect it. So here's my challenge to you. Take a moment to reflect. Who are the voices influencing your creative journey? Drop a comment below and tell me a person who empowers your creativity, a type of person that you need to set boundaries with. Now, go create and choose your company wisely.